Rundown Wednesday, March 29th. Oh, shit.
I was going to say, what's going on here? Davey White shirt. It's not very championship-like of you.
Remember, Bomani Jones was on Pardon My Take today. I haven't heard it. How did it go?
It was great. Obviously there are people who do not like Bomani Jones. We didn't go on his show. He came on ours. So we asked him funny questions that were like, there was no race questions, guys. It's cool. We had a pretty funny conversation. I asked him if he could get away with it, would he murder Clay Travis?
What'd he say?
Probably not. Which is a yes. That's a yes. That's a yes.
I'll also say this. I've asked some ESPN people maybe to come on my show, and they all say, well, we got to ask, we got to do the right things. No, you don't. If you want to go on a show, people, you just go. No one gets in trouble. It's a cop-out. So when you say I got to ask, FYI, that is just saying no. That's a no.
And this is, what my friends, what we call a verbal subtweet. Loved it.
Verbal subtweet.
I love it. I need that. I need that page views. Just verbally subtweeting people.
Speaking of page views, you should have blogged Pardon My Take as Bomani Jones says he wants to murder Clay Travis.
True.
If you want page views, that's what you got to do.
I should have. That's on me.
BU intramurals. I guess they give out goats if you win, which I kind of like. Greatest of all time. So shout out to them. Let's get going. This crying BC fan. All-time video. I mean, fan. I don't know why it says fan. Did I say fan? He's the fucking player. So a little bit different. Hank, try to produce the shit out of this. If I wrote fan, that's on me. You could fix it, though, and write player. Crying BC player. Crying. What's the best part about the season? Finally, after like 10 minutes of crying, he says,
going out to eat.
Hilarious moment. But before I rip him too much, I understood what he was saying.
Right.
It's like the camaraderie, hanging out with the guys. But when you haven't won in like 2 years, you're the worst sports franchise, the worst college sports program in the country. It goes viral. It was everywhere. What do you got, KFC?
Everyone does understand what he means, but you have to try to convey it a little better. Like you just said it right there. Camaraderie, hanging out with the guys, hanging with my brothers. There's a million other ways to put it. I didn't know what he said until it happened. Like I didn't read K. Marco's blog. I just watched the video. When those words came out of his mouth, I mean, that was a must watch. That better be top 5 of 2016. When he said
going out to eat
through his tears, my jaw hit the floor. I would rather be BU Intramural's GOAT than be on BC at this point. The athletic director has to be like, you're fucking killing me. They're never going to get a recruit again after that.
Big Cat? I'm distracted, by the way, by this basketball game. It's like we have Syracuse, BC.
I got you. We're down 10. I got it live on TV. I'm watching. Let me do it. You host. I'll watch the game for us.
What's the total? Are we close to the total?
You got 133. We're at 66-50. We need to get into some free throws. I got it. We're close though. We'll be okay. I'm giving you a Big Cat guarantee. We're gonna get the over.
Oh boy.
There it is. That was a great eye roll. All right, so this is like the super bad, like how I know you're gay. It's like how I know you have the worst basketball team of all time. You like the favorite moment from the season was swiping your BC Bucks card at the cafeteria with the boys. So it was. I do agree. Like we all understand he's gonna miss hanging out with his teammates and stuff. But that's the lowest the program's ever been. 19 losses in a row.
And I know generally if you're a Division I athlete, you slay, you get all the girls, it's the dream. Are they actually like a joke because you're so bad? It's like, is it almost reverse now for BC athletes? Not hockey, but like football and basketball. You're such the punchline of the entire country. You're better off not even being on that team.
I think you hit it
3, 2, 1. But you're answering the question.
No, fuck
is
that.
BC a joke?
Just let it be. No, this is a moment.
Nobody. This
is like the root of our relationship, me and Dave. There's no one. Whenever you break news to me on scores that we gambled on, you get so mad, and vice versa. I can't handle it. You can't handle it.
There's nothing worse than
I'm in the driver's seat. I'm the captain now.
There's nothing worse than having somebody just break scores silently. Like, oh, by the way, you lost.
You remember this in in LA when I was like, I almost cried because you kept on telling me the update, and I kept on like all my bets kept on going against me.
I'll go if people know I have a game, I'll go dark. I'll shut off all my phones, like everything. It'll just be lights off, so I find out myself.
We're down 4, going to the line.
Are BC players a joke?
You hit the nail on the head.
This is a disaster. This if we're actually going to do, which we're not saying tomorrow when we bring the rundown to random people in Nebraska, be like, is it funny? This will not be the episode that we use because this has been a show that, like Chernin, UTA, they're all going to be like, we've made the biggest mistakes of our lives.
This is an old Francesa trick, right? Like just talking about something that none of the listeners can see. The problem for BC basketball and football kids is the hockey team's good. If the hockey team wasn't good, you'd be okay because it'd just be like, that's the sports teams. But if you have like a championship quality team and then you have a team that hasn't won this calendar year, you're fucked.
And by the way, that's why BC is good at hockey. Because if you're a hockey player, why wouldn't you go to BC? Where are you going to go? Michigan, where like they have fucking good everything, or programs, and this works, by the way, why it's very hard for like Kentucky to be good at football when they have basketball, because you want to be the top dog. What happened? What happened?
Syracuse tied it up, 68-68, boy.
This rundown's terrible.
Adjust yourself.
Just tune in to watch Dave think about his bets here.
I got the same bets as Dave. We have the same.
All right, so I can't lose both, so I don't even give a fuck.
Yes, correct.
But there's other things going on. Like wow.
Are there bets you didn't tell us about?
No, but I told you I tried to get out of the bets at halftime, and then I told my book, and he's blowing me up right now on the line, being like, do you want to get out of it? And I was on the phone, so he's going to say I'm out of it, but I'm in it. So it's a big mishmash of fun. Maria Menounos got engaged on Howard Stern. Interesting timing, because a little on the down low, I'm supposed to meet with her this weekend. She's like interested in working with Barstool, her and her new fiance. So it'll be a lead in that like you trashed her.
Yeah,
but
I wish I kind of known that.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was like a fake engagement, like they got engaged. She's always on Stern. That's where she said she liked anal sex and all that shit. Huge turn on, by the way. So maybe they were already engaged and this was just for the cameras. If not, it's bad. KFC.
No, the whole thing is weird because they've been dating for 19 years. That's fucking weird. Like at this point, who cares about the proposal and being married when you've been together almost 2 decades? I Howard Stern fans seem to like it. I think it's probably tackier than the Texas Tech proposal we talked about earlier in the week. I think it's rock bottom to do that shit on the Howard Stern show. The limo driver did it a week before too. So now you're like following in the limo driver's tracks. I don't know. I don't listen to Stern now, but I guess if you're a Stern fan, you like this. I thought it was lame.
Big Cat.
I was never a Stern guy, so I always feel like when I comment on Stern stuff, if you're not a Stern person, you miss like a million inside jokes. Everyone's like, how'd you not know that shit?
Yeah, so I hear that. But like if someone wanted to propose on the rundown, I would think that's lame too, even though they'd be a diehard Barstool fan.
Did you guys listen? What?
Dave would be all for that.
You would love it, Dave.
I've introduced couples that have gotten married.
Yeah. Make the moments, baby.
It would be good for the show and for Barstool, but you would never do something like that yourself, right?
Oh, no.
No,
right,
but listen.
That's my point. That's what I'm saying.
At the end of the day, what are we in? We're in the memory-making business.
That's true.
Got to do it.
No greater memory than marriage.
This college announcer from Green Bay against Valpo. Did you guys listen to this whole thing? So it's one of the funnier clips we've had in a while. He gets ejected for making hand gestures. And by the way, this is March Madness. There's so many things that happen in March Madness that just make March Madness the most unique event. Anytime you mix in college kids announcing games, the unintentional comedy is already off the chart. But to literally get thrown out of the game, which, by the way, I don't think that's legal. I don't think a ref can do that. I don't think a ref can eject an announcer, but he did, and then the kid came back. I had Green Bay. What's happening, Big Cat?
It's tied. Syracuse. Oh, fuck. They just turned it over, and Pittsburgh's probably going to score. Yeah, Pittsburgh scored. Pittsburgh's up 2 with a minute left.
What's the score?
70-68. This is vintage March Madness. You're correct, Dave. I wish we could do like a study of like
are you
our
laughing
bodies
at,
during
Hank?
March, because I feel like what's happening.
Hank, by the way, can you always use this new thing that we have that has better internet? Go, Big Cat. Sorry.
March, I feel like my heart is racing the entire month. It never slows down. And so everyone's on edge. Everyone's kind of like wired up. And that's exactly what this situation is.
That's the perfect way to describe it. I'm just on edge from everybody's on edge.
I'm wired. I'm wired for an entire month straight. Like, you can see it in my face.
KFC.
Fuck. Pitt's up 4.
It's so bad. When I heard,
I have it at 68-68 Syracuse ball.
72-68. 3 for Syracuse. 72-71.
tune into the rundown and watch Pitt Cuse through the rundown. This is high quality
This
stuff.
is the worst rundown ever. Let's just go to the next one.
Bieber versus Diaz.
Commercial.
Justin Bieber versus Nate Diaz. So Bieber, first of all, I fucking hate this, by the way. There's a lot of people did this. Like, after Conor McGregor won, they're like, you're still the champ. No, you're not. You got choked out like a little fucking bitch. You tapped out. Your man made you tap out. And then Bieber. So I'm on Bieber. I'm saying Bieber's wrong for being like, you're still the champ. Nate Diaz's style is wrong. I did not see Nate Diaz being like a cartoonist, though. He made a cartoon of him like slapping Bieber's face. What do you got on the Bieber Diaz situation, Big Cat?
Bieber, now I know it's a technicality, but he technically is still a champ because there wasn't a belt up for grabs. I agree with you though, Dave. Like, you can't lose like that and say I'm still the champ. Technically he is, but in everyone's mind he's not. My only question is, did Nate Diaz actually make this cartoon?
Yeah, it says like animated fighter on it.
Is that him?
It's got to be.
No, it does not have to be him. What does that mean?
I mean, I agree with you, Dave, that if Nate Diaz is a cartoonist, it is the most shocking story of all time. I don't know if he is, but I'll go with it if you want.
You don't think he is, KFC?
No, I think there's like at Animated Fighter, I'm looking it up now, is probably like a dude who draws stuff for MMA. I don't think it's is it actually him?
I think it's him.
Yeah, it's an Instagram account that like does cartoons for like fighting.
It's him. Paul O'Neill VP. So Trump shot him out. JJ just threw it out there. But you know what? I hate the Yankees. I'd love Paul O'Neill as a VP. I think Paul O'Neill and Trump would truly make America great again. Like, Paul O'Neill is a guy I despise so much, but I respect the fuck out of. And there's not a ton of those guys. I usually hate you to the core like Peyton Manning. I don't have an ounce of respect for him. Paul O'Neill, I'd send him into fucking North Korea in a fucking heartbeat. KFC?
What's even scarier is that like Donald Trump probably would too. There's a chance that O'Neill's going to be like added to the campaign trail. He'll run on the ticket. Anything is possible at this point. You have to take everything seriously. And yeah, I mean, O'Neill like bashing apart the Oval Office would be, I mean, maybe that's what this country needs. Who knows?
Score update?
72-71, 6.6 left. What do you have it at, 3 or 4?
4.5.
Oh, I have 4.
But I don't even know if I really have it, to be honest. My guy's,
true.
he's going to be like,
True.
we middled you, you're out.
True. Paul O'Neill's like the perfect Trump guy. Like, if you had said this before yesterday, if you said it on a Monday, like name a hardcore ex-athlete Trump guy, it's Paul O'Neill. It's a match made in heaven. I agree that it's just like Paul O'Neill, just give him a baseball bat and like let him stand on stage with Trump and just like bash people if they fuck with him.
Like have a Gatorade section, like so you can just start throwing like Gatorade bottles across. Last one. Did you guys see the Flutie Shimmy?
Final double winner. What a ride, boys.
Double winner or not.
Or not. But as it stands now, double winner.
And it made for like an incredibly entertaining podcast. Like
I feel like I'm high again when we did the video. Like, I just can't stop giggling.
This is the worst podcast ever. I'm curious whether there's any nutty stories or like it was actually good.
Well, when you go so bad that it becomes something unique, it's better than being mediocre. You know what I mean?
Did you guys see this? The Flutie Dancing with the Stars. I think it was maybe the greatest Vine I've put together since like my original Hell's Bells. Doug Flutie. I said to Feilberg, he's like, "Did you know Flutie was on Dancing with the Stars?" I said no, but I guarantee you he wins it because Flutie's such a fucking competitor. And I hadn't seen him come out to his dance yet, and then I saw it, and he clearly has no rhythm. I put the rock down to Electric Avenue, and then I'll take you higher.
That's the intro. Pardon my take. You haven't listened, obviously.
Really the thing?
Come on, stop.
You're troll. You're such a troll.
No, I didn't know that. I honestly, hand to God, didn't know it. I haven't had time to listen part of my take yet.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for the support.
That's really your intro?
I shouldn't have expected any difference after 4 years of not once mentioning KFC Radio's existence.
That's the intro?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Same. I'll tell you what it is, Dave. It's March. Same wavelength.
That's honestly one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. I hadn't listened to that song when I did it for years. Feidelberg, did you know that?
Yes, he listens to the podcast.
So why are you saying
it's not that surprising because literally every topic we always talk about is electricity, electric factory. It's all electricity here at Barstool, so it's not that shocking.
And you should listen to the intro because we did actually end up using. I don't think people even know this.
Listen to it on the weekends. I work so hard. I never stop working. When I get home on the weekend, I'm going to listen to it all. I listen to everything. I know everything. It takes me a while.
I don't think people realize this. The intro, the introducing Pardon My Take by Barstool Sports is Paul LaDuca. I don't think people realize it because I had a lot of people be like, who the fuck is that guy? It sounds awful. It's like, no, man, that's a legend you're talking about. And he nailed it. He nailed it.
That's the show. It's stunk. No after show. I think we just end it. Unless you guys have something pressing.
I think we got to find clips from this game and splice them in. That's how you make the rundown great again.
Hank had a face like he didn't like it. Hank got off the hook a little bit yesterday. He was sick yesterday. I just said he was sick. I forgot that he was at Hobart Hoedown the weekend before. So the classic Barstool, don't take care of yourself on the weekend, and then it comes out of my pocket on the weekday. I hate that.
How are you feeling after you didn't get a full 10 hours two nights?
Right now I'm on one of those highs that are like
This is like a live look when people are like, why do you guys gamble? You're looking at the two faces of why. It's like I feel like I could run through a brick wall right now.
Except I don't even think mine counted. So
that's a classic Portnoy too, by the way. That wrinkle, because you're always getting into hijinks with your bookie where you're like, I called him, he didn't pick up. I told him no bets for the rest of the year, but then I bet, and I don't know if it counts. And he owes me, but he doesn't. Like, it's just it's a wild chase.
This is what Chernin loves. It's the Chernins investing. They want people gamble. It's like, I'll throw a couple bucks, just a couple.
Can I throw out an idea that might be crazy, but I think it would be absolute gold? Dave Portnoy show with your bookie.
No, that.
I mean, come on, give the people what they want. Could you imagine?
I have never heard a harder no from Dave ever. I mean, his big brain, the wheels will spin. He'll think about the possibility of marketing it and the brand. That was a hard no.
Dude, Dave Portnoy. And Dave, what you do is you make it password protected, like we talked about. So the people in your life who you don't want to hear how much money you gamble, we just won't give them the password.
Yeah. All right, that's the rundown.